Hello friends, welcome to another session of Emotional Café. Xiomara Mayo Ingram here with a topic that I have to admit it's not probably going to be the one we like the most, because it has to do with perseverance in front of our difficulties, in front of the adversity. And I know that when we have to talk about adversity, no one seems to like that topic, me included. I totally agree with you. But we do have to talk about adversity. We do have to talk about those negative situations, those incidents, those difficulties that come to our life and somehow hit us hard, and our life is never ever the same. We have to talk about them because it happens to everybody, and that's what life in life terms means. And I know that we wish it wouldn't happen to us. I know that sometimes we feel that whatever is happening to us is the worst. And let me tell you something. It is extremely important that we understand and respect that your pain is your pain, my pain is my pain. And sometimes we want to go making comparisons on what I feel or what happened to me is worse than what happened to this other person. And those are nonsense attitudes, because the truth is that whatever happens to you is what's really going to hurt. Whatever happens to you is going to be painful for you. Maybe it might be that you lost your job, and maybe I lost someone I love, but you have not lost someone you love. So you might feel some empathy when it comes to my pain, but you have not experienced it. So it's going to be hard for you to actually grasp what I'm feeling. But you are feeling your loss, the loss of your work. And if I see it from my side of the street, I'm not going to I'm not going to feel your pain, because I'm going to be feeling that mine is worse. Let's keep it simple. Your pain is your pain, and that's the one that really hurts. My pain is my pain, and that's the one that really hurts. And when we have this awareness of how everybody's affected in different ways, we'll be more respectful towards others in whatever situation they're happening, instead of comparing and making comments that are nonsense to those situations. Also, another thing that I wanted to say, and the reason why I chose this topic, is because, as I said before, at some point or another, we have to experience loss, we have to experience difficulties, we have to experience adversity, and sometimes we're not prepared for it. I might say that we will never be prepared for it. But what do we do when it comes? What do we do when we have to face it? And that's why I wanted to share this with you, because I have experienced adversity. I've had different situations that have changed my life in ways that I never imagined. All of a sudden, one day things were a certain way, and the next day they were totally different. And I know that many of you have experienced it too. And sometimes we stay there in the adversity, in the difficulty, in the negative, dwelling and crying and whining, and we don't feel that we can move on, that we can move forward. And that's what perseverance in our difficulties really means. That's what perseverance with this topic is about. Not to be defined by those difficulties, by those adversities, by those situations that have had a negative impact in your life, but rather than that, feel the pain and make a decision to move forward, to continue living. And that's where perseverance is going to play an amazing role in your life. You might think, Xiomara, this is easy for you to say. No, it's not. Years ago, many years ago, I had a situation that had to do with my son, one of my sons, and it was a health situation. And our life, my whole family life, changed drastically. And I remember asking at that moment that question that we all ask ourselves when something bad happens. Why me? Why is this happening to me? And I remember, in the midst of all that I was going through, I came across an amazing book. And the author had gone through all kinds of things that you could possibly imagine could go wrong with a person. All kinds of tragedies, one after the other. When you thought nothing else could happen to this author, to this person, something else happened. And I remember reading something that helped me change my perspective. And she was sharing in her experience that instead of asking, why me, she asked herself, why not me? Why not me? Why this kind of tragedies, why this kind of difficulties, why this kind of negative situations can happen to many other people and somehow it's not going to happen to me? Why not me? And I remember thinking and connecting with that question, why not me? And it kind of helped me understand that anyone who is alive, any of us who is experiencing life is exposed to tragedies, to adversities, to negative situations, because it's just part of life. If you look at our lives, people are born in our families, we lose loved ones in our family. We get joy and happiness and blessings. We get sad moments. We feel unhappy at certain moments in our life. So life comes with both things that are going to present. And we just want the happy, we just want the joyful things, we just want all the blessings, we just want to be satisfied and happy with everything. But that's not the way life is. And this is something that we need to know and accept. Because when we don't get to experience any of this, both positive or negative, it means that we stop existing. It means that maybe we're not alive anymore. But everybody who is alive is exposed to whatever situation they might encounter. Why not? And by just looking at it from a different perspective helped me realize that I was dealing with my son being sick, but I had a choice. And my choice was to be down, defeated, on the ground, whining, complaining, get bitter and mad at life, mad at everyone, and allow this adversity, this situation to define myself. Or I could persevere in thinking positive, knowing that whatever happened, we had to move forward. We had to find treatment. We have to accept that this was a condition, that he was going to have to learn to live with it. And instead of whining, I started studying, I started reading about it, I started looking for some research, I got educated, I got informed, and moved forward. And this is what I'm telling you today. It does not mean being and showing perseverance with our difficulties doesn't mean that you're happy about what happened to you. I get it. I was not either. It doesn't mean that you're satisfied and comfortable with what happened to you. I get it too. Same thing here. But it does mean that we make a choice, because it's a choice, that instead of being defined by whatever happened to us, we are going to continue moving forward. We are going to hold on to whatever life we have. We are going to push, and we're going to push, and we're going to keep going firmly towards ahead to the future. And when we have that attitude, when we persevere with that attitude, I tell you, you are going to start enjoying life again for what it is, and you are going to acknowledge that this happened to you, that it changed your life, that your life was never the same, but you will still feel grateful about the life you have, understanding that others didn't have that choice. It's just amazing, and this is something that I tell you from my heart, because I have had the opportunity not only to assist people that have gone through lots and incredible tragedies, but also I have known on the personal level some people that have gone through things that you wouldn't imagine. And what I have admired the most about them is that they didn't let that tragedy, that incident, that situation to define them. They felt the pain. They were in pain and they accepted it, but they decided that they were going to continue and move on with their lives. It didn't mean that it didn't hurt anymore. It didn't mean that they like it, just like I did. It only means that life goes on and we need to move forward. I try not to be defined as the mother of the sick child. I try to transmit that to my boy, and almost 11 years after that, I can tell you that his health condition is stable. He's under treatment, but he has not let that health situation define him. He gives me the kind of headaches that any 21-year-old will give any mother. I tell you that, and I have shared that with you. But I can tell you, and I understand, and I can feel your pain, that whatever happened to you, that's not who you are. Just push, hold on to perseverance. Think about the kind of life you have ahead of you, and push yourself out of that pit where you are feeling your pain, and just put one foot in front of the other and move ahead. Just move on. Things will come your way. Things will get better. You will still have that pain. I tell you, because I still have my little scar in my heart. Things that sometimes we don't understand why they happen. But that's not the end of your life. Keep living, keep pushing, keep moving forward. And that's what this topic was about for you today. Perseverance, whatever it is that you are having to face today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next week with another session of Emotional Cafe.